I mean, what is the truth of our being? This is what I'm interested in. I've been interested in what is the truth of our being, and not trying to get an explanation for that, but a living knowing of that, which is not something you can come through anyone telling you. Most people, all the masters have come to that through, like you say, through meditation.
Well, the truth of your being is happening in the now. In other words,
that's right.
You're having a truth right now. Everyone's enjoying this to some extent. It's going on longer than they want, but it's all right. It's not going on longer than we want. Mm-hmm. In other words, this is a powerful, important conversation because the truth of your being in any moment in time is the manifestation that's happening. So here we are having a conversation about things that really matter to you and discovering harmony, lots of harmony, and discovering some bumpy spots, and discovering harmony, lots of harmony, and discovering some bumpy spots. So as a result of this conversation, now you are, and we are too, because everything evolves. This conversation has never been before into all of the universe. We've never had the clarity of conversation. And we want to say to you, not only is this conversation meaningful, but it could not have been if it hadn't been for what came before and what became before and what came before and what became before. Even exactly what came before led to what's going on here. And so the truth of our being is that we are constantly rendezvousing with a new becomingness, and having the success of alignment within it, or having the lack of success of lack of alignment within it. In other words, everything exists. The premise of life is a triad of intentions. And these are the three legs of the triad. The first is freedom. You are so free you can choose bondage. You're so free that you can choose a thought that takes you to your knees. You're so free that you can choose a thought and establish a stance that will prevent good things from ever coming to you. Or you are so free that you can choose a stance and deliberately focus upon thoughts that bring good things to you. So the basis of your life is utter and absolute freedom. The intention of your life is joy. And if you get the intention of life in the right perspective, so that you care about the way you feel, and that guides the thoughts that you choose, then that freedom is a sure thing. In other words, if you care about how you feel, freedom is certain. And the result of this experience will be expansion. Now, we can't tell you which of these is a more important intention, because it is a equal triad. In other words, if you're not exercising your freedom, you will never find joy, and you will never get into that place of in other words, expansion is going to happen because it never stops. You're always exploring, and you're always shooting off these rockets of desires. But when you put the desire to feel good into the equation, and then you discover the freedom of feeling good that only comes when your quest is that of joy, then it all fits together, and then life is meaningful now and now and now and now. But you can't find that guidance unless you understand what it's about. When you get into your car and you set your navigational system and you tell it where you want to go, the reason that it can guide you is because you've told it where you want to go, and it knows where you are in relationship with where you said you want to go. So it plans out the route for you, and you can tell when you're on the route and when you're off the route. This is not so different. Through life, you have planned your route. You've told it where you want to go, and your emotions are telling you where you are in relationship to that at all times. So if you care about how you feel, which is something that most people have discounted long ago, because most people are trying to please others who care more about how they feel about what you're doing than how you feel about what you're doing. And so you're trained by a society, by parents who are very well-meaning, who say, don't do what feels good to you, do what feels good to me. And so right away, most people get outside of their guidance because they're...
I'm sorry, Esther. Can I ask a question? My question is this,
it's annoying because we only have one answer, isn't it?
No, yeah, it is, in a way it is, because what I'm seeing is that I understand the emotional guidance system, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm interested in is there's a presence within every emotion, within